Today we are joined by vocalist Logan Olivero of Vesperian Sorrow. They are a Central Texas symphonic black metal band, I guess is maybe a fairly accurate description. They've been around for a long time, since the mid 90s. Logan is a recent addition. I think he's been with the band since about 2019 or so. Their current album is called Awaken the Greylight. It's out on Black Lion Records out of Sweden. You can find it just about anywhere. Just go online, look it up. Vesperian Sorrow, Awaken the Greylight. Really interesting dude, very creative. He's got his hands in a lot of cookie jars, and it was fun talking to him, finding out where his inspirations come from. He seems to me like one of those guys that starts a lot of projects because his mind is always racing. And
Correct.
sometimes he finishes them and sometimes he puts them on the back burner and comes back to them, but he's never just idling. It's just constant barrage of creativity, it sounds like.
Correct. I think that he's one of these sort of savants, but when you meet him, he's just a dude until you really start asking him about what's going on in his garage. You know what I mean? You open the garage and it's like, holy shit. You know, I'm talking about his mind and his instinct as far as being a creator. I have worked with him. We talk about it a little bit, but I've worked with him a few times, done shows, recording studio. He's on the Texas Metal Outlaws record that guitarist from Igniter, Robert Williams, put together with a bunch of different artists, and has pretty much everybody on it. And Logan was on that, and when I heard him sing, my mind was blown. I think he's done some cover song stuff, some parody stuff that I was involved with. I think we did a parody of, I don't remember what record it came out on. Shit, it might even been on Texas Metal Outlaws. I just don't recall now, but a cover of That's What Friends Are For, like Dionne Warwick. That's what friends are for.
Yeah.
And he I think he was the mastermind behind that, and I got asked to put a verse and a chorus on there. Shit is fucked up, man. But that's kind of where his mind is, and I guess you know that it makes sense, right? After meeting him and talking to him, it makes sense that he would come up with something like that.
Right.
So there's a few different facets and styles. The Hangman's Curse project we talk about at some length here, which is his like spaghetti western doom death metal band. It's barely metal, but it's such this weird concoction of priest robes and hoods with cowboy hats and hangman's noose around their necks, and they're playing this like kind of twangy, all minor key, sludgy kind of a thing, and all the themes are like hang 'em high and a fistful of dollars, and old scary sound. The guy is deep, and I have yet, and I say this a few times, I've yet to hear the latest Vesperian Sorrow record, which I had the honor of. I've performed, actually, Dave. I don't know if you knew this. I've actually performed on a song on a Vesperian record in the past.
In the past, yeah.
I believe Erica, who I replaced in Igniter, is also on, might even be the same song or a different song on the same record, where we did some cameos on a Vesperian Sorrow record, which is another really cool sort of leg on the monster, if that is Vesperian Sorrow. I'm really glad that they I like Donnie a lot, the long stay singer that Vesperian has had. It seems to be this kind of collective, as well as there's two main guys, Will the guitar player and Chris the drummer, but Donnie and Logan are friendly. So there's this whole working together to create this thing that is Vesperian Sorrow. But apparently, this new record has all of these different, and Logan explains in depth about what's happening. But seems that they have created this. Where do you, what box of metal do you put this in?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on, and he makes
Talking about Awaken the Greylight. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting how Logan, because basically the band, the band itself was not on hiatus, but I think there was like a 12-year gap between recorded output. So there was this huge gap, but the band was quietly still working on material behind the scenes. They just weren't releasing anything. And then Logan steps in, and as a singer and a lyricist, and obviously a very creative person, he either took it upon himself or was tasked with the idea of sort of connecting the dots from the previous recorded output and bringing it up to speed on Awaken the Greylight. So he's kind of bringing some of the characters from the past into the future, or the present rather. And so I thought it was interesting that there was this much thought going into the idea of keeping this ongoing theme going for so many years, when they could have just maybe put out a record that said, hey, starting today, clean slate, let's go. They felt that it was important to hang on to some of the history that they've created, and put in the time and the effort to sort of, again, bring the themes and some of the characters up to the present on Awaken the Greylight. So a lot of thought gone into
how
it.
they were able to focus with where Logan is coming from is amazing, an amazing feat. And after all you guys meet him, you'll understand. We had a little bit of Wi-Fi issue on his end of things, but it's tolerable. You guys have been cool about it. I should bring that up, that you guys, and I speak, you guys being you, listening and watching right now, you guys never bitch about our quality control as far as technical difficulties and things like that. And we appreciate that, because we're just Beavis and Butthead, man. We don't, it's not, it's not about having the best sounding and looking product, even though I think that it's okay when you compare it. This project, this sort of talk louder thing that we've been doing for 3 years, we just crossed over 202 episodes with 2,000 subscribers, and it's not really about getting high numbers to us. It's about having interesting conversation with characters that or artists that we know you like, or artists that we just feel like have a crazy brain that we want to have on here,
Yeah.
So Logan definitely fits he checks all those boxes. And the guy, I start off with this in the interview today, about how great of a singer. I mean, he's holding back. If you listen to what he's got going on, and he's not like not a lot of people know who he is, and he doesn't have a whole lot of records out there, but you're going to hear, as soon as you hear him sing, you're going to hear like 5 or 6 different voices.
Yeah.
Because he's a singer, he's got gutturals, the black metal, death metal thing, but the dude can sing Jeff Tate shit. The guy sounds like a trained voiceover / opera singer who can pretty much do anything with his voice. And we talk about that with him today. Some of you will be surprised at what might be his influences, and I wasn't surprised at all. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you would imagine that a guy that covers that much ground, his influences aren't going to be coming out of one box. So I admit I was the guy that was a little surprised by some of his influences, but the more we talked and the more I heard, the more I realized, oh, this makes perfect sense. And then I could think of it in a larger context also, going beyond just Logan. I mean, I listen to rock music and metal, and now that I think about it, I could, you know, I can see influences coming from all over the place. Not everybody just grows up worshiping Rob Halford. There's
Yeah,
all kinds of,
it's
you
not
know,
just I mean, other than me, that's the only thing I worship is the Church of Rob Halford,
yeah.
card carrying member,
And by
conf,
the way, you could do worse than growing up worshiping Rob Halford.
true confessions here. But the you're making valid points, and it's interesting because not all of his influences are going to be rock singers. I use that quote,
Right.
generically, rock singer. Oh, my influences are Bon Scott and Bon Jovi. It's
Yeah.
not. That's not it. He's not coming from there at all. So
Right.
yeah, I loved it. It was a great conversation.
Yeah. One of those guys I think you can accurately call a true artist. Dabbles in a little bit of everything and does a lot of it very, very well. So, not just a one trick pony. Happy to have him today on the show. Logan Olivero from Vesperian Sorrow on the Talk Louder podcast.